Hello everyone, good morning. Recently, a friend of mine shared to me about a story of just one Nigerian boy who discovered a way to determine if a number is divisible by 7. Although in mathematics, there is already a way to test the divisibility of a number by 7, but this Nigerian boy just found another way to determine if the entire number is divisible by 7. The story is interesting because it shows that there are still a lot of ways to be discovered in the mathematics this time. Inspired by the story of this young boy, I just found a way to help the students, even us, parents, to determine if a number is divisible by 8. Okay, as I search around YouTube and Google, there is a certain way to determine if a number is divisible by 8. That is by extracting the last 3 digits of the number, the entire number. We only consider the last 3 digits of the entire number. And if the last 3 digits of the entire number is divisible by 8, or it is a multiple of 8, then that means that the entire number is divisible by 8. However, to determine if the last 3-digit number is a multiple of 8, we do the actual manual operation of division. Doing the entire manual division process is some kind of a stressful thing for many of the students. Why? Because between the 4 operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, most of us really found division to be the most difficult among these 4. And since we are going to perform actual operation of division with from this 3-digit number divided by 8, then that will be some kind of lot of work and a lot of pressure in our minds, since determining the multiples of number 8 is not that easy compared to the division of smaller numbers. So just this morning, as I was thinking about how we can find it easier, I discovered a certain way in which we do not have to perform the actual operation between the last 3 digits and the number 8 to determine if the entire number is really a multiple of 8 or divisible by 8. So forget about the actual division of the entire 3-digit number by 8. I am not sure if this is really new, or maybe some teachers might have discovered about this. Maybe some teachers might have taught you about this process. But as I was searching in YouTube just this morning, I only found a way in determining the multiple of 8. They really perform the actual division process of the last 3-digit number by 8 before they decide that the entire number is a multiple or divisible by 8. So everything that I have seen, they really perform the actual division process. But with what I have found out this morning, you don't have to perform the division. You only have to continue to follow the steps that I am going to share to you so that you will know if the number is divisible by 8. So I do not consider this as a new way of determining a number to be divisible by 8. This is just an enhancement to the existing method of determining the divisibility of a number by 8. So I'm going to share to you in this video how do you know that the last 3 digits of the entire number is divisible by 8. So here we go. Let us consider the number 25,104. That is 25,104. In the test of divisibility of number 8, we disregard the remaining numbers. We only consider the last 3-digit number. Now, we can now disregard this 25. We will only focus with 104 because the goal now is to determine if 104 is divisible by 8. Because if it happens to be divisible by 8, then the entire number of 25,104 is divisible by 8. So, using the old way, we have to check manually if 104 is really divisible by 8. So we have to perform the actual division operation of 104 divided by 8. So how many of you now would find it easier now, as of this moment, that we are going to do the actual division process? So let us now divide 104 divided by 8. So since 1 cannot be divided by 8, let us consider the number 10. That is, so 10 divided by 8, and we have 1, so that is equal to 8. Then we have to subtract, we have 2, then we bring down number 4. So 24 divided by 8, that is equal to 3. This is 24, so this is 0. So meaning to say, 104 is a multiple of 8. So, therefore, we can decide now that 25,104 is indeed divisible by 8. So, here is the process that I'm going to share to you. The process that does not have to go through with the actual division operation. Let us still consider the last 3-digit number, so that we have 104. So we will still determine if 104 is divisible by 8. So the first step to do is now to separate the ones digit from the remaining digits. So we have to separate 4 from 1 and 0, that is 10. So the next step to do is to double this number, the separated number, the tens and hundred digits. So we will separate, double them, that number, so that is 10 times 2, that is equal to 20. Then we will add our ones digit, we will add, so that is equal to 24. Now let us ask ourselves, is 24 a multiple of 8? Then if you are sure about that, 24 is really a multiple of 8, and if you are sure about that, then we can now decide that 104 is indeed a multiple of 8, or 104 is really divisible by 8. Thus, 25,104 is divisible by 8. However, if you are not sure that 24 is really a multiple of 8, we can still repeat our process. So we have 24. Now, the thing that we have to do is still separate the ones digit 4 from the remaining digit, which is 2. Then let us double this one, that is equal to 4. And we add that one with our ones digit 4. So that will result to 8. So now, since the result is 8, nobody will debate now that 8 is a multiple of 8. That 8 is indeed a multiple of itself. So since 8 is a multiple of 8, then 24 is a multiple of 8. Then 104 is a multiple of 8. Therefore, 25,104 is a multiple of 8. Now, this is now the comparison between the two processes. The first approach using the actual division operation, and the second approach, the one that I have shared to you just this morning. So again, I am not sure if this is new to you or this is something that's already known to you, but since for me this is new for me, so maybe to some of us this is still new, so that is why I'm sharing this to you. So regardless of how many times that you repeat the process, if the number is really a multiple of 8, you will always end up with 8. Okay, again, regardless of how many times you repeat the process, still the end of it is 8. And if you end up with 8, then that is the only time that will truly convince you that the entire number is multiple of 8. Then there's nothing to debate about that. So again, only if the last 3 digit is multiple of 8, regardless of how many times you repeat the process, you will always have 8 as a result. So the next example that we will have to try is 4,544. Let us check if 4,544 is a multiple of 8. So let us now have to check its divisibility. So the rule in mathematics to test if a number is divisible by 8 is we have to extract the last 3 digit of the number. We will only disregard the first digit. the other digits. So we will only consider the last 3 digits. So now we have 544. In the old process, the process that we have known, we will perform the actual division operation of 544 divided by 8. Because the test of divisibility for number 8 is to check, focus on the last 3 digit. Now, if the last 3 digit is a multiple of 8 or divisible by 8, then the entire number is divisible by 8. So how do we know if the last 3 digit is a multiple of 8? So in the old process, we will perform our actual division operation. So this is how we do. 544 divided by 8. So since 5 cannot be divided by 8, so we'll consider 54. So the nearest multiple of 8, nearest of 54 is, as we all know, that is 48. So this is actually 6. So 6 times 8, that is 48. Now we will subtract, we will have 6 and bring down 4. So now we have 64 divided by 8. So as we all know, that is 8 times 8. So now we will have 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Then that is equal to 0. Meaning to say 544 is the multiple of 8. Which means 4,544 is a multiple of 8. So since in the old process that we have known, we pushed through with the entire division process. Now, let us take a look at how I will do this using the way that I shared to you that I found out this morning. Now, we have 544. From 544, we will now separate the ones digit from the tens and hundreds digit. So we have 54 and 4. Now, what we do with the tens and hundreds digit is to double this one. We have to multiply this by 2. So this will give us 108. Now, the result will be added to our 4. That means 112. So, now, if we are not sure if 112 is indeed a multiple of 8, then we will repeat our process. 112. So from 112, we will separate 11 from 2. Let us double our 11. That will result to 22. Then add 2, which is equal to 24. Now, 24 is a multiple of 8. But if we are not sure that 24 is a multiple of 8, we can still perform, or we can still repeat the process. So we will now have 2 and 4. Double this 2, result to 4, and add the ones digit 4, resulting to 8. So the result will be 8. 8 is a multiple of 8. 8 is a multiple of itself. So meaning to say, 544 is divisible by 8. 544 is a multiple of 8. So since 544 is divisible by 8, so the entire number of 4,544 is multiple or divisible by 8. Now let us take a look at these two different approaches. The first approach, using the old one, is to actually perform the division process. So here are the advantages and the disadvantages. Many of us don't find it easy to perform actual division operation. So when you know that you have to perform the division process manually, then that would really stress your mind out. So that would be one of these disadvantages. Maybe if you are so good with the multiples of 8, you can perform this actual division operation in a faster way. However, if we go to the new way that I have told you, that I have shared to you, we do not use larger number. Okay? We do not perform the division process. We only perform multiplication process, but it's not by 8. It's multiplication by 2. Then we also have the addition. Multiplication by 2 and addition are operations that are easier to perform as compared to the actual division divided by 8. So it's now depending on the situation or depending on the students, which of these two approaches is more preferable or more easy or easier for him to perform to check the divisibility of a number by 8. So those are the two examples, the two numbers examples that I have shared to you using the two different approaches. The approach using the actual division operation and the approach using the separation, the doubling of the other number, addition, and determining if that is multiple of 8. So now, this is now, I do not claim that the process that I've shared to you, the new one, would be easier for all of us. However, I believe that a lot of people would really consider it more easier as compared to the actual division operation, because the moment that you hear the fact that you know the fact that you have to perform the actual division of a 3-digit number divided by 8, then now that would be not that easy. But since you have to only perform the multiplication by 2 and the addition thing, for many of us that would be kind of easier. So it now depends on you on which process would you choose to consider. So once again, I do not really claim that this is new, because I am not sure if this might be an old one already. Maybe a lot of people might have discovered this or might have learned about this long time ago. But I am still sharing this to you because for me this is something new, and that is something helpful to you, to the students, and even to the parents who are going to help their students in determining to help their students in their lessons. So, if you found this video to be helpful, I'm requesting you to please like my page, this basic math tutorial, my page on Facebook, or to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will be updated when I have new videos to be uploaded in Facebook or in YouTube. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, or comment anything that you want to share so that everybody else can really learn something from all of us. So stay tuned.